Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible moments in ancient history. It's the climax of a massive 7-year national project to build a home for the divine itself. We're talking about the dedication of Solomon's temple. But that leads to a huge question, right? It's the one King Solomon had to face. I mean, how do you even build a home for an infinite divine presence? This isn't just about gold and stone. It's about something way bigger. Where do you even start? Well, for a project of this magnitude, you might think it starts with the blueprints. But no, it starts with the people. This is the story of an entire kingdom coming together for one single sacred purpose. So, Solomon sends out the call from Jerusalem. And listen, this is not your average political meeting. This is a once-in-a-lifetime summons, gathering the entire leadership of the nation for a very specific reason. And just look at who he called together. This wasn't just his inner circle. He summoned the elders, the wise, seasoned advisors. He called the heads of every single tribe, representing the whole nation, and the chiefs of all the families. This was everybody, a moment of total unified focus on one thing. So what was all the fuss about? It all came down to this, the Ark of the Covenant. For generations, this sacred chest had been kind of nomadic. It was the physical symbol of God's promise, God's presence. And now, finally, it was getting a permanent home. This was a game changer, centralizing the nation's identity like never before. Okay, so everyone's there, they all know why, the stage is set. And now, the next act can begin, the Ark's final journey. And this wasn't just about moving a box. It was a deeply sacred procession with the entire nation's leadership watching. So you have the priests and the Levites, the only people designated for this holy task. They reverently lift the ark, and not just the ark, but all the other sacred items from the old tabernacle, and they begin their march up to the brand new temple. But as this procession is happening, something else is going on. Something on a scale that's almost impossible to imagine. And it just shows you the sheer gravity of this moment. Really, let that sink in. This was an act of worship so massive that the official record keepers, the people whose entire job it was to write things down and keep a tally, they just couldn't keep up. The sacrifices were literally uncountable. That's how important this day was. And so this journey, this procession, it ends right at the heart of it all. The ark is carried into the inner sanctuary. This wasn't just any room. This was the most holy place. And it's set down right beneath the wings of these two huge golden cherubim statues, angelic guardians watching over it. This was it, its final home. So what was actually in there? Over the years, stories and traditions might have added things, but the text makes it super clear. There was nothing in the ark except for the 2 stone tablets that Moses got way back at Mount Horeb. It was a straight line, a physical connection all the way back to that foundational promise made with their ancestors. All right, so at this point, the people have done their part. The priests have finished their task. The ark is in place. And that's when something else takes over. The priests, they step back. They leave that sacred space. And you can just imagine this moment of quiet, of pure anticipation. The work is done. And now they wait. And the response? It's immediate. It's powerful. A cloud descends and just fills the entire temple. And this wasn't some random fog rolling in, In their tradition, this cloud was the sign, the visible presence and glory of God. And this presence, this cloud, it was so intense, so overwhelming that the priests couldn't even keep working. The whole ceremony just stopped. It was a clear sign that the divine had taken possession of this house, and human activity had to just pause. And the text tells us exactly what this means. No guesswork needed. The glory of the Lord had filled his temple. The house was built, and the offering had been accepted. So you have this incredible, divine moment. The glory of the Lord has filled the temple. And now King Solomon steps up. It's his job to explain what this all means and to show everyone how this was all part of a very old promise finally being fulfilled. And his first words aren't to the people. He speaks directly to that divine presence. He's formally dedicating this magnificent building, not just as a temporary spot, but as a permanent dwelling place. Okay, so after speaking to God, he turns to face everyone. And now his job is to be the narrator, to put this incredible event into context, connecting what's happening right now all the way back through the generations. And this is the backstory, right? This is the key. You see, it was his dad, King David, who first dreamed this up. He really wanted to build this temple, but he was told, nope, you're not the one. Instead, the promise was passed to his son. It was a generational promise now being fulfilled right before their eyes. And Solomon makes it official right there in front of everyone. He says, look, the Lord has kept his promise. I followed my father David, I'm on the throne, and I have built this temple. It's done. And there it is. The whole point of the day is achieved. The Ark of the Covenant, that symbol of the ancient promise made in the wilderness, finally has a permanent, magnificent home. It's now locked in as the center of the nation's life for centuries to come.
So this whole incredible story kind of leaves us with a big question, right? Think about it. We still do this today. We build monuments, museums, libraries. We create physical structures to house our most sacred ideas. So what does it really mean when we try to give a permanent physical home to something as profound as a promise or a core belief?